Have you ever wondered what would happen if every rat on Earth disappeared? It sounds peaceful. No more sneaky tails darting in alleys, no late-night rustling in the walls. But in reality, if rats suddenly vanished, the consequences would ripple through movies, science, cities, and nature. Let's start with pop culture. The legendary Tom and Jerry show might never be the same without its mischievous rodent star. No Jerry, no classic cat and mouse chase. For generations, rats have been at the center of cartoons, jokes, even horror films. Their absence would leave a gap in animation, storytelling, and plenty of viral memes. On the food front, cheesemakers could finally celebrate. Rats are infamous for their uninvited midnight snacking. With no rodents to sneak into pantries and factories, cheese production could run smoother, and food waste might decrease. Maybe we could even invent a whole new style of cheese, rat-free cheddar, marketed to a world without rodent risk. But the scientific community would face a real challenge. Rats play a huge role in medical research, helping us solve mysteries from genetics to brain science. Without them, researchers would need to reinvent their experiments, find new model animals, and face delays in developing medicines. The souls of overworked lab rats might finally rest, but progress in health and science could slow. Moving outside, our urban landscapes would change. Rats are prey for cats and snakes, two urban predators. If rats vanish, the population of these animals could shrink as their main food source dries up. It could tip the balance of urban ecosystems, changing how cities look and feel. Finally, think of all the people with musophobia, the intense fear of rats. For them, a rat-free world would be a dream come true. Nights in New York, London, or Paris would suddenly feel safer, cleaner, and quieter. But the absence of rats, over 2 million in New York City alone, could leave some places feeling oddly empty. But the biggest shockwaves hit nature itself. Rats are everywhere: fields, forests, cities, and not just as pests. They clean up food scraps, spread seeds, and shape the habits of countless animals. Take away rats and you disrupt entire food chains. Foxes, owls, snakes, even some birds depend on rats for their next meal. Losing this essential snack could mean fewer predators, which in turn could allow other small creatures, like insects or mice, to multiply wildly. Without rats rummaging through garbage and leftovers, city streets and landfill sites might look cleaner. But that food waste needs to go somewhere. It could pile up, attracting other scavengers ready to take over the vacant niche. Picture bigger crowds of pigeons, cockroaches, or even stray dogs moving in. Some cities might see a rise in new pests as they scramble to keep things tidy without their uninvited rodent cleaners. In rural areas, farmer life would change too. Rats eat stored grains and crops, but they also compete with pests like locusts and beetles. Without rats, it's a toss-up. Some harvests could improve, others might see surges in different unexpected plagues. Nature abhors a vacuum, so other creatures, especially those with quick life cycles, might take advantage. On a larger scale, the sudden absence of millions of rats could even reshape disease patterns. Rats are notorious for carrying illnesses, from historic plagues to modern infections. Fewer rats, fewer rat diseases? It's not that simple. Other animals, like mice or fleas, could spread similar germs in new ways, and public health experts would need to rethink strategies for keeping cities safe. Finally, cities themselves would have to adapt. Some people might celebrate, but others would miss the messy but oddly familiar rhythm of city life with rats. Subways, parks, and alleys could feel eerily empty, like a silent movie missing its main character. So, while the world without rats might sound good at first, it would spark a cascade of surprising changes: new pests, shifting ecosystems, and unexpected global impacts. That's the strange butterfly effect of wiping out one tiny creature, with ripples reaching far beyond what we usually see. But the story doesn't end there. If rats disappeared, the world's balance could shift in unexpected social and environmental ways. For scientists, adapting to a rodent-free world would spur innovation. Labs might invest heavily in new genetic models, artificial organs, or even computer simulations to fill the research gap. Some breakthroughs could happen faster without ethical worries over lab animals, but others, especially in neuroscience and medicine, may slow down or change direction. Meanwhile, cities might undergo their own rat nostalgia. Museums and historic districts could display models of rats, reminding visitors of their role in shaping urban life. Books, movies, and even street art could feature rats as symbols of resilience and survival, a tribute to their past influence. And what about culture? With rats gone, some traditions and beliefs would fade, but new stories might emerge. Children's tales could swap clever rats for other underdog animals. Superstitions about rats, both bad and good, might slowly vanish, or transform as new creatures take their place in our collective imagination. Ultimately, erasing rats from Earth reveals just how tightly everything is connected. From science and food to nature and art, their little footprints are everywhere. Wishing away a nuisance sometimes means losing a vital part of the world's ecosystem, a lesson worth remembering anytime we imagine changing our planet forever. Thanks for watching CultureVerse. If you enjoyed this journey into the unknown, don't forget to subscribe and share your own what-if ideas below. Stay curious because sometimes the smallest creatures have the biggest impact.